prophets taught my kin to proudly serve as flunkies. Then everything changed when they rejected us and turned to monkeys. And when needed most up from my lowest place, I rose anew to reassume the leading reins and realize change must overdue. I orbital drop bombs harder than double E, suffixing a surname. Stick it to you like a plasma toss, utterly eclipsing of your flame. The black sun you face this day is born from far bloodier rule, equipped for soundly silencing assholes and running through brute. I wish total war without your zealotry. You'll find your rap attacking blown up in your face spontaneously like your whack assassin. You may fancy your ground standing as the noblest of missions, but lone wolves just don't survive when I control the opposition. This big daddy brings elite heat, yours can't hope to hold a candle when your little sister's too much of a shock for you to handle. Stepping up here was a wrongest turn since destiny's crossroads. I spit mythically like some all scores on legendary god mode.
Zuko here, but I guess I don't need to be introduced. Forget your title, leave the settlement to me in this dispute. You soldiered through the flood, fought back the parasite and swarms, but now you traded villains up and can't contain the firestorm. It's your most suicidal mission yet if you're about to start with this. You'll find no great mind saving, I'll knock you straight down to Tynarious. Explain why you are bitter, you've a very backward species. Genocide campaign for some deluded geriatric ET. If you seek an arc, then look no further, it's objective fact. My journey spanned a trilogy, you're started in the second act. But stepping back, I'm sure we'd have a lot to learn from your redemption too. If any games that prior to your turn so much as mentioned you, you've known no rare foe, your tactics aren't gonna take here. Ultra instinct counters your attacks like combo breaker. To this wolf you aren't some mighty menace, try a little lamb. Keep throwing everything you got at me, yet I don't give a damn.
I was conducting fleets across millions of miles through space while you were wandering the seas, dwelling on a wild goose chase. You are like the lamest hero hunter I have ever seen, it's laughable. Your mashing was together as haphazardly as animal. Discharging lightning lyrics, there's no way you'll be deflecting this. I'll zap Azuzu's presence from this plane, call me the Exorcist. I vanquish forms of enemies that dwarf some poor man's anime. Who drones on over what is honors world as swarms of Yanme'e. Your verses ring as hollow as the virtues of the hierarchs. My very hide and lone students to her through summon flying sparks.
Have I been called to service?
Oracle, tell us his purpose.
His line index activates a strong response I don't know.
Strike with blue and red and get your spirit utterly slaughtered. Put this to rest unlike the questions of who mothered your daughter. The brother will of your grandfathers, both paternal and great, are soon fulfilling unkept promise, seal your permanent fate.
You underestimate his powers as the highest graded pupil. You faced dual wheeling out while he brought mine up to quadruple. Leave the huffing to the young guy and he don't take their advice.
And that was just a mere tip of the boy in the iceberg. Buddy, I thought lunar love lost rough, then heard you read your verses. What I spit meanwhile smoother than your work on reaches surface. I'll deserve this worthless dervishes deserve when I let go with words. Assembled into devastating couplets like Legola words. I dance with dragons, sands the ice, my song is strictly fire. Its true meaning manifest, the plane I'm on's distinctly higher. Of the past I can't be ridden, but I bear my scar with honor. While you let your mark stay hidden underneath the hardest armor. There's no silver sliver for an ugly mofo who's about to fight a killer of a flaming knuckle sandwich to the yow jaw. Ouch. And maybe after, once I'm through with your mouth, you'll say it to the old shipmaster, that makes two of you now.
When the debacle in the north of your career path set southbound, you got your losses plus your top knot and you found a better look. But now you're in the mire deeper than the spirit drags out. For your whole battle effort's lost, bro, and you're bound to get the hook. Supreme commanding flows to slay songs with particular justice. I sling mud refined as bay fawns when I'm viciously busted. I've had better beef with rivals in the form of skeleton, cause all these bars have got the meats, I call this foe more well done. Methinks you're insufficiently rehearsed to rhyme to further frogs. They might as well have pitted me versus the lightest hurricane. But full of hot air though you are, my threshold's one you'll never reach. Flow back on up in your balloon, go catch some sun on Ember Beach. You've not a Jake long shot at triumph and you walk to hide away. I was moon riding as Goliath, but I'll rock you night or day. You can't compare to me lyrically, militarily, or with construction tools. So march off home to Uncle Little Soldier Boy.
I took one look at Father's Phoenix wrongs and shouted objection. Now for both of you, reclaiming shit is out of the question. As you've known since Wheatley over there announced the intentions of the deadly rings you thought would bring about an ascension. I don't need Tylee's assistance to maintain the pressure stunningly. To push your every button ain't a game when messing up your cheek.
Though rapping's not my cup of tea, I'm truly proud of you. Your efforts fueled with well-taught wisdom, his is fueled by Mountain Dew.
You emote with the living vigor of a vehicle's namesake, insufficiently to trigger Koda Stealer to face take. No new Amaskin no Mjolnir, but I'm a demon microblazing, redirecting Blaster's skill of likes unseen since Cairo Station. You're unfit to go to war with me, best bring back Ripamora me. Forget a comet's power, I make impacts meteorically. I dig at your authority, prepare to stand and fight. To take the throne is by seniority, and morally my right.
While the forerunner sacred mantle is a wholly other story. Mine took back a tainted title and restored its former glory. I saw my kin's liberation and redemption through the schism. The galactic Martin Luther says the anti-Semitism. False truth knows no reconciliation with my plasma bite. My crew's craft crush a cracking yet like crash a tight. Think 100-year war settlement will honestly impress me. Up above your tier level, I broke bonds kept 3 millennia. To Agni Kai against his kite and you ain't got the power score. The only bending I feel's in my knees, but not to bow before. A loser lord whose passion play is hurdling to tragedy. You'll get your bump up to degrees unheard of in your family. You lack in combat combat evolution skill, and not to mention your live cast. What insane hell? Says the $1 million question. And I'd rather be directed by some Senshayun than Shyamalan. Now Netflix adventure fans don't even wanna gamble.
Your whole franchise fell out of grace when Bungie snapped the cord. They should have given their IP the failsafe CE had for Sword. Cause with what 343's been guilty of, it's barely functioning.
Indeed, let's just say that Destiny is a very funny thing.
You're gonna go up in a bigger mushroom cloud than High Cherry. Even Sokka calls it clear as day. You just died lyrically. Your flow has all the consistency of the Kig-Yar's design. I require no long shots to point like Kig-Yar behind. So you can keep your combine. It's not some bossing say conspiracy. There's no war raging here or a curb stomp in plain sincerity. Unlike a Jiralhane chieftain slamming chumps with gravity. Just call me Zuko. My comeback is running rampantly. Speaking candid, the way this battle ends is your defeat. I'm driving this track's last lane with handling the turret seat. The win is like my mother, cause I'm bringing it home. Finishing this fight, the honor goes to Zuko alone.
Who next? I decide!